Hey, I'm Monae Everett, celebrity hairstylist and author, and you're getting ready to listen to my interview on Friends in Beauty. And I said, hey, I wanted to give you my card if ever you guys have another shoot I would love to be a part of. He cuts me off again and says, yeah, give me your card. I'll make sure to give it to a real hairstylist who works with, who does the real models and stuff, not this black girl shit that you did today.
Wow, goodness gracious.
I didn't know what to do with that. It almost brings tears to my eyes now because think that he was stupid enough to say it out loud, so I was clear. But think about the other people who felt these ways and didn't say it before. So I was no longer able to be in my shell of maybe. He made it very clear. And I even said to him, but I was the lead hairstylist and makeup artist today. Like, I did all the work. He was like, yeah, but that black girl stuff doesn't count.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get real answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. My name is Aquia Robinson, and I'm a makeup artist, beauty educator, and the creator of Friends in Beauty. I created Friends in Beauty to support like-minded creatives, just like you, on their quest to connect, network, and build genuine relationships within the beauty community. Join me every week as me and my special guests reveal the keys to success and longevity in the beauty industry, and most importantly, have fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here with me, and I hope that you are listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, if you are a friend in beauty, I welcome you to join the Friends in Beauty Facebook community. If you're looking for a community of like-minded, ambitious, and supportive friends in beauty to virtually connect with, network, and share resources, then click the link down below in the show notes or in the description to join our community, and I'll be waiting for you over there. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty. What I like to do is do something called a Friends in Beauty Friday feature where I spotlight different friends in beauty and their accomplishments. No matter how big or small you think it is, I want to shout you out and big you up and send you good vibes. So use the hashtag FIB Friday feature and tag Friends in Beauty for a chance to be featured. Also, this podcast is available on a variety of platforms: Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, YouTube, wherever you are listening from. I appreciate you, and I would love for you to leave us a comment, a review, 5-star rating, rate, comment, and subscribe so I can know what you think about the Friends in Beauty podcast. And also share this podcast with other friends in beauty, your family, your friends, to help us grow our community. Today on the Friends in Beauty podcast, we welcome celebrity hairstylist Monae Everett to the guest chair. Backed up by 2 decades of training and experience in the fields of beauty, fashion, and branding, Monae Everett is an American Board Certified Haircolorist with a diverse educational background. Additionally, she earned degrees in Communications and Sociology from George Mason University. As a major force in beauty, Monae has worked under top global hair care brands such as Wella, Sebastian, and Mizani, which makes her the perfect presenter for your next event. She is the industry expert for all hair textures. Monae's professional work has been heavily displayed in the worlds of film, television, print, heater, and numerous New York Fashion Week shows. National media giants such as Glamour, Harper's BAZAAR, Essence, InStyle, and Yahoo Beauty tap Monae regularly as a trusted voice and authority in the beauty and style industry. Monae's diverse work has been displayed on such celebrities such as Mariah Carey, Dre Davis, Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Daniela Perkins, Merle Dandridge, and many more. She also offers her take on today's beauty and hair trends while providing styling tips as a content provider for Hype Hair, NaturallyCurly.com, and Beauty Industry Report. In this episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast with Monae Everett, we talked about everything from networking, which you know is my favorite thing to talk about, assisting senior artists, the do's and don'ts of set etiquette, lack of diversity on set and how she's been speaking out on inclusion or lack thereof in the beauty industry, and the mistakes that she's made and the lessons that she's learned that have led her to write her new book, Get Out of Your Own Way, the 25 Insider Tips for Booking Celebrity Clients. And this was such an amazing interview. As you know, anytime that I have the opportunity to get a senior artist on the show, I have so many questions for them. And I was so appreciative for Monae's time and her insight and just everything that she shared. This is definitely an episode, whether you're a hairstylist, makeup artist, photographer, model, this is an episode that you definitely need to listen to because Monae has so much experience. I mean, 2 decades in the industry. We talked about so much, and there's guaranteed some gems that you will pick up in this episode because she just goes in depth and shares her experiences with the things that she's dealt with and how she has overcome them. And she is still standing. And if you are ready to level up and stop standing in the way of your success and also learn how you can do your part to not be counted out when it comes to inclusion, definitely listen to this episode and also follow Friends in Beauty on Instagram because I will be doing a giveaway of Monae's book, Get Out of Your Own Way. And listen to this episode because what I realized is a lot of the questions that I get asked about senior artists and how you can work with them and just little insight that people want to know about the beauty industry, Monae answers those questions in this interview. So definitely tune in for your dose of inspiration. So let me stop talking and let's get into this interview with Monae Everett. Enjoy. Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, Monae.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. Like I was just saying, I think I've known you probably like the majority of my journey as a makeup artist, but we never really got a chance to talk. And I'm really interested in learning more about your journey, your long career so far in the beauty industry. I know you have so much to share, so I don't want to hold you too long. I want to jump into it because I know this one is going to be a really good episode already. But before we get started, I want to do some icebreakers with you just so the Friends in Beauty audience can get a chance to know you a little bit outside of makeup and hair.
Awesome.
All right. So give us 3 random facts about you.
Okay, 3 random facts. 1, I went to 13 schools but only one high school.
Okay.
2, I am one of 5 children. 3, I went to school for TV and radio and ended up a hairstylist.
That's the way it works. I went to school for IT and here I am. But it all plays a role. It all comes full circle at some
somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah, definitely. What would you say is your superpower?
My superpower is somewhere along the lines of communicating what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and doing what I said I was going to do. Mm-hmm. And I found out it was a superpower because apparently most of the world does not do that. And it's like so vital to society to be able to communicate and keep your word. And I live and die by that.
Right. Make sure that's on. Aside from hair, what do people tell you that you're good at?
Aside from hair, they tell me I'm good at talking. They tell me I'm learning to be a good listener. I don't know. I guess that keeps coming up. The older I get, the more I realize just really talking and understanding is like freaking vital. Cooking, I'm a good cook. Those things.
Okay. If you could get rid of any hair trend forever, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. Something I don't never want to do. Okay, y'all gonna beat me up. I have a lot of respect for it. I don't like doing it, but finger waves.
Okay.
I ladies, y'all knock it out and have at it. But if I never had to do them, I'd be fine.
I'm always shocked too when I see people with finger waves nowadays. I'm like, people still doing that? Okay.
And I'm like, I'm down with the dry waves and stuff. Like I like the look, but the real on the scalp finger waves, the Missy, I can't stand the rain finger waves.
Yes.
Like I said, y'all keep rocking them, but I'm okay with not having to do it.
Right. And the last icebreaker, if you weren't in the beauty industry, what would you want to be doing right now?
A public speaker. So I'm excited that I'm starting to integrate the two. And I guess my other icebreaker questions kind of led up to that. But yeah, I just recently learned that, like, yeah, that's a whole thing. It's a whole career. I like public speaking.
Awesome. What do you think you would speak about?
I would speak probably about beauty because I do love that. I also am happy to step into the need to discuss diversity and inclusion, and you know, or worse, it does need to be spoken about. And I think long term, once I get there, I'm learning the importance of speaking to the ones you love in a way that they know that you love them. You know, I don't have my own family yet. I'm one of 5, and I have seen a lot of things in life and family that make me realize that we have all of these big ideas, but a lot of them come back to smaller points. And treating the ones you love and care about like you love and care about them is important, and all of us are not equipped in how to do that.
Absolutely. I can agree with that because I have a large family.
Yeah.
So learning how to communicate with all of those different people in a way that they feel good and, you know, or just making them be seen. There's so many people in my family.
It's hard, and the way that makes them feel good and feel seen and feel heard may not be the way that comes natural to you. So learning to adapt. A lot of people think you shouldn't have to, but I think it's important for people, especially when you have a positive feeling about them, to feel that positive from you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing those icebreakers with us.
Oh, girl, now I'm good. I'm all warm and ready to go. Like, let's see what else you got. Those were good.
Yes. So we can jump into the interview and all that good stuff. Do you remember how we met?
I feel like we met at Bennett.
Yes.
Where tell me the detail. I felt like it was Bennett, but that's all I got.
So when you came and you did the Celebrity Makeup Artist Symposium, that was in 2013. I was assisting Morel at the time, but you were amongst the lineup of people. And anytime I tell my story, I always have to talk about the symposium because that was like the weekend that was like a really big, like pivotal weekend for me. And I was only 6 months into being a makeup artist at that time. And when I reflect on it, I really didn't realize how serious it was and how much it was going to impact me just being around you, Morel, Reggie Wells, all of those people that weekend. And just because I was assisting Morel, I got to kind of be like in the lunch area with y'all and all of that. So I remember meeting you
Morel,
there.
all of them are sweeties. Yeah, that was a wonderful weekend.
Yeah. And then you were at the makeup show too that weekend, and you were interviewing people. This girl is on fire. Like, she's doing everything.
I do not play. And do you know what happened there? So we rushed back because we wanted to get back to the makeup show. And yes, I do interviews like on my YouTube channel for other beauty professionals. But do you know I left my keys at Bennett and y'all had to bring it? I was locked out. Y'all had to bring my keys back.
Oh my goodness. See?
Okay, a little behind the scenes tea, but yeah, I was so happy to hear y'all were coming to the makeup show.
That was a blessing, shoot.
Wasn't it?
All the way to New York. So where are you originally from?
So I was born in New York, but raised in the DC area.
Okay.
So in my heart, I always felt I was a New Yorker. And people in Northern Virginia and DC were not fond of that. I always felt like I didn't fit in down there because I was supposed to be in New York. And now that I moved back here, I'm like, no, I am a New Yorker. I love the DC area, but I'm a New Yorker. I feel like I had dreams that were bigger than the average person at the time down there. So I'm not slighting anybody. I didn't have people in my circle that I could talk to about wanting to do high-end hairstyling, photo shoots and stuff like that. And in my experience, makeup artists, they can comprehend that, but hairstylists is like, so you want to work in a salon or own a salon? Like they can't really comprehend anything else. But a makeup artist is associated with high-end stuff to begin with, because the average woman is not going to hire, get her makeup done as an errand. They, you get what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome. So what came first for you, hair or makeup?
Hair. So hair came first for me. We're going to kind of slow walk this back a little bit. So I had a lot of opinions, and people would say, if you can't do better, you shouldn't say anything. And I was college bound. I didn't really have a lot of people in my family who were, so I was held back from taking cosmetology. I was one of the top students in my school and always told I was too smart for cosmetology. But I could have graduated my junior year in high school. So all of a sudden it was like, hey, remember that cosmetology thing you wanted to do? I got to do it my senior year in high school, my freshman year in college. And I thought I would only do hair to not be broke in college. I didn't think that I would love it, but I did. And my senior year in college, I started learning about doing photo shoots and working with celebrities and things of that nature. So I learned that you got to do test shoots and photos to start to create your portfolio. And I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, all right. So the photo shoots. I always had the most difficult time booking makeup artists. Many times I would even pay reputable makeup artists, and they just would not show up. Wow. So I had one big shoot where I traveled all the way to New Jersey to do hair for Today's Black Woman, I think, for a photo shoot, and the makeup artist didn't show up. They said that the tunnel got closed. So it was always this amazing reason. Like one makeup artist, they got into an accident on the way to the shoot and she was hospitalized. It was always some amazing catastrophic reason. Right. So standing there on that set, I started doing makeup right then and there. I had always been amazed by makeup, but I never really did it. But for that shoot, I wasn't missing that 10-page spread. I did the makeup for that. Right. And you guys would fall on the floor of laughter if you saw the makeup today. But so I got really good at makeup, and that's probably because when I was in a salon, my focus was hair color. And I just felt people took makeup more seriously. But over time, I was like, okay, I'm going back to my first real love, which is hair. I love being able to transform people with hair and changing the whole shape of their body with hair.
Nice. I love that. And I love that you mentioned that it was something that you wanted to do in high school, because I was the same way. When I was in high school, I actually wanted to be a hairstylist. And my goal, I was graduating at 17, though, so I wasn't technically an adult. And my goal, I'm going to graduate from high school. I'm going to go to cosmetology school, forget college. I was not interested in college, but everybody advised me to go to college because I needed a backup plan, and nobody really
always the backup.
Always a backup plan. They didn't even see the vision for anything in the beauty industry other than working in a salon or anything like that. So they were like, no, girl, you need to go get your degree. So I did, but I never worked in my field anyway. So
yeah, and it's funny that you say, but IT, you can use that for everything. Oh, yeah. You always need IT. It's funny that you say graduated at 17. I did too. But my mom, who you met, lovely woman who is like my best friend now, but growing teenager years, she also was not with me moving out to go to school. So y'all don't want me to do hair, y'all don't want me to do cosmetology, and you don't want me to move out. So I don't even think she ever really thought of it that way. Girl, you better than me. I start forging the hell out of signatures. We laugh about it now, but I was like, listen here, y'all old women got these old ideas. I don't know why. But something's gonna have to work out for me. So I always make the joke that if my mom was to sign anything now for me, they would send it back like, whose signature is this?
Right.
We don't
this is not the same.
This is not what we have on file, because I moved. I did all of that on my own. My mom was like, you going to school? Where you gonna live? Don't worry. Right. Got it covered. And I say this in a joke, but if you are so blessed to get any inkling of where you can take your life, sometimes it's worth trying.
Mm-hmm. And it'll just be I told you so moment, if not.
Exactly. Like I told you so. I know. I was there. I
Yeah,
remember.
right. So when you were first starting out, because you have quite some time, like 2 decades in the beauty industry, how did you go about building your business and making a name for yourself prior to social media? Because nowadays a lot of people rely on social media, and I'm really big on networking and going out and meeting people. So I'm always curious to know, like, prior to social media, how did you all and you go about building, your business?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I didn't know. That's why I wrote Get Out of Your Own Way, because I realized I thought I knew stuff that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Your first job is networking, and then whatever you do is secondary. Your first job is to network. Your second job is to be a hairstylist. So you're right, meeting people and letting people, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. So when I think back, and I've been tasked to this twice today, trying to remember how I really got started. I think it was working with like those G-list celebrities that only a few people kind of knew, and doing like the midnight runway shows at the club, because that's what everybody wants to, that's what they're at the club for at midnight, to see a runway show, right?
Right.
Yeah. But it was anything to get my name out, so that people started knowing me as a hairstylist. And I didn't know any hairstylists that worked with celebrities. I didn't even know anybody in the celebrity industry. So I started knowing of popular people in the DC area. And now that I think about it, I had a good friend, beautiful girl, who started doing like her own swimsuits and swimsuits competitions. So I would do her hair for the photos for that. I would, and then she would meet people and tell them about me. And it was always the level up, level up, level up. But I want people to think of celebrities as influencers. So that influencer could be the head of the PTA. It could be the head of the company. It could be the first lady at the church, anybody, where somebody would say, oh my God, Monae does your hair. Let me give her a try. And also keep in mind, you don't know who knows who. So if you're building anything, and this is what I did at the time, you want to get to know people. You want to treat them as a celebrity. And then they start to refer you out to other people. So that's how I built my career. But I also want to make it clear, when I was in the DC area, which was a smaller city, I always had another job. So I was working in a salon or working part-time somewhere else. I just kept a paycheck, because being broke ain't never been cute.
Okay.
And I would save, hoard and save my money. I would work so hard at the salon that I lived off of my tips and only deposited my paycheck. And I was always taking education. So I talk about vertical versus horizontal networking. Vertical networking is the up and down, like someone on a higher level of you. So if I'm taking hairstyling courses, that instructor's on a higher level than me, they're going to want to see me succeed. That's a form of networking. I'm also networking with everybody in the class. So that's horizontal networking. When I was in the DC area, I wasn't able to assist. I didn't know anybody that I would assist. I was always the main hairstylist, but the lessons that needed to be learned, they waited for me when I assisted when I came to New York. Oh yeah, they waited. I was already doing, a celebrity here and there. And it's funny, because some of the celebrities, if I were to say the name, you wouldn't even know who they were, but they were a celebrity to me.
Right.
And that's before I got up to the people that, now are recognizable names. I hope somewhere in there was an answer to your question.
Oh, definitely. I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
I'm soaking it all in. I'm
Awesome.
soaking it all in. What would you say was like your big break, where something happened and then it was like, boom, trajectory, like job after job after job?
A big break. People say that to me. I'm like, girl, I don't know. I work hard every day. Maybe when I felt like I was doing something was when I worked with Angie Martinez for Barack Obama's inauguration, his first one. An agency in New York had kind of threw me that bone down there, and they paid me well, and it was awesome. And it was, I went to school for radio, so I was a huge Angie Martinez fan, and I felt like I was really doing something. Or maybe on a whole other level, when I got a DM from a lady. Okay, I got an email from her. She said, "Did you get my DM?" I'm like, "No." She said, "I'm in Kuwait and I want to come there to have a photo shoot by you." And I thought it was spam. She was like, "I'll be there in 10 months. She called me 8 months later, like, "Hey, I think you're joking. I want you to do my hair. I've seen some of your photo shoots in magazines and stuff like that." But by photo shoots in magazines, like at that point, I was getting little headshots in magazines. Like, we're not talking full page spreads. She came to New York. She loved my work. I coordinated a photo shoot for her in a hotel. And a few years later, she said, "I love your work so much. I want to bring you to Kuwait."
Girl.
So maybe something like that, realizing that, wow, people see your work. There's so many ebbs and flows. Like every time you think you good, you good. Oop! You good, you good. Oop! So I don't know. I'm always so focused on the future. It's kind of even hard to think about, because there's nothing that has made me feel like, "Oh, girl, you've made it," because I'm very aware tomorrow is not promised, especially in this industry. Like, look at COVID. No one foresaw having to be home for 6 months and counting,
Right. Now, since you mentioned assisting, because like my brain is like rolling right now, everything. But since you mentioned assisting, I know there are a lot of people in the Friends of Beauty community that tell me that they want to get into assisting like senior artists, but they don't know how to reach out, or they always feel like when they do reach out, maybe their approach isn't the right way and they don't get a response or whatever it may be. Like, what do you think is the best way for someone to go about finding someone to assist, or I don't know?
So that's my book title changed to Get Out of Your Own Way, because I realized that a lot of things that I was doing was hurting myself. Not because you don't know what to do. So when you finally get the nerve to do something, you do the wrong thing. I'm going to give you an example of something that turns me off so quickly. 2 things. And they're tiny things that you can do right away. I will put up a post and say, "I need an assistant. I need your name, email, phone number, website, and social media. I need those." Literally only put those 5 things. I get all types of, "Hey, boo, you could check me out on Instagram here." So what you've said to me is you don't listen and you're too comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all this, and I know it's going to make me sound crazy. It drives me insane to get a DM. "Hey, love." I don't know why it's like nails to a chalkboard, but it probably drives me insane, because both of those things I've overlooked people not doing what I asked, and brought them on and found that they were too comfortable. They didn't act like they wanted to be there. They acted like if I asked them to do something, it was a problem, or they were unclear of what assisting means. Assisting can mean anything from, "I need you to stand there and hold up that wall and make sure the wall don't move," to, "I need you to do that person's full look." If you can't stand there and hold the wall, what makes me think that you'll be able to do the look the way I would like for you to do it, the way I'm instructing you to do it? And I need you to understand, when someone refers you for any position, their reputation is on the line. If I bring in an assistant and she does a really bad job, all of a sudden, the crew can't tell us apart. So more than likely, both of us have to leave.
Wow.
We're going to get a different hair team in. Everybody's there and they're high stress dealing with whatever they've got to deal with. This team don't work. Thank you, guys. I did a major ad campaign with a young lady who, it would be unbelievable if I told you all the things that she had done wrong, and I was not ever brought back.
Wow.
And to be clear, was told later that day, that they were bothered with her.
That is so crazy to me.
Yeah, everybody thinks that there's a lot more power than there is on set. The person with the power on set is the person writing the check. Okay, everybody else is just replaceable. So in terms of assisting, those are two things to do. And I go in great detail and get out of your own way on how to find who to assist and how to, what to say to them when you are assisting. Because we don't know, and I've definitely done the wrong thing. Like I can actually say, like an example of something that I did wrong was when social media first became a thing. There was another artist who had gone to the same college as me, and her work was so good. And I had emailed her a couple times and she didn't reply. So, you know, emailing was, for me, was fairly new in terms of artists and stuff. And I had always been told older artists were not so savvy with computers. So my assumption, you heard that word assumption, right?
Right.
Was that she didn't get my email. So then Facebook was a thing. So I had sent her a message on Facebook and she didn't reply. What was my assumption? She didn't get it. So then I wrote on her wall, hey, I've been trying to contact you. I really love your work. I'd love to work with you. Da, 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 da. I do this, I do that. This is how I can help you. She got that and she either called or emailed and laid into me.
Oh my gosh.
She said, I got every one of those messages that I ignored. I didn't have an interest in working with you.
Okay.
Huh? Didn't know. But I could have taken the hint in the beginning and not reply. But since I did not know what to do, I did what I thought was best, and it was not best. And I learned that the really hard way.
Right.
So do I think she could have handled it differently? Yeah, but we can never control what someone else does. You get what I'm saying? So I learned the hard way, like, oh, maybe she didn't want to talk to you. Oh, I'm really nice though.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't know if us being in a small city, was I trying to steal her clientele? There was no, she wasn't warmed up to me.
Gotcha.
I came in really hot and all she heard was, I want from you, I want from you. And I was like, oh, okay. Now that I get a lot of these emails, I see.
Yeah. So what would you have done differently? Maybe position it as like how you could have like added value to her situation or something?
Yeah. So I definitely would have told her what I enjoyed about her. And I definitely would have told her what I feel I can bring. I would not have said, this is what you need, or this is what I can add to you. Because that's saying that you're lacking something, and I would have waited for her to get back to me. And now I understand that a lot of work that I do, I go through seasons. When I show up to work with a celebrity, many times it's at their home or their hotel room, which is their home for the night. I can't bring anybody with me. There is no assistant in that situation. But then again, it may be certain times like Fashion Week where I'm heading shows where I need a whole bunch of assistants at once. So I will keep a file of those people. But if I do have somebody that keeps, hey, why didn't you reply to me? I know you see my emails. And I think because people don't know what else to say, they're getting deleted because they don't have the patience that I need. They don't have the hurry up and wait in them that is required for this industry.
Right. So for those people who do want to, end up on set at Fashion Week or just on an editorial shoot assisting, what do you think are some, maybe like your top 3 do's and don'ts for like set etiquette? Because a lot of people really don't know what to do. They get there, they're talking to everybody, they're not paying attention to the person they're assisting, they don't know what tasks they're supposed to be doing. A lot of people are late. It drives me crazy about the stories I hear, people that are always late, or like you said, makeup artists just don't show up. That's still going on these days. And it's crazy.
It is. So I don't know if I have them in terms of 3, but the first thing I would say is realize there is a such thing as set etiquette. And I don't know a better way to say it, and it's going to sound harsh, learning your place. If you're assisting, you are to only talk to assistants. That's very old fashioned, archaic, and it is still what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You ain't got to like it. That's
Right.
what it is. Learning the etiquette of being early. People say be humble, and I don't think that that is a good enough explanation. You have to come with a servant's heart and understand that as an assistant, your job is to make the person you're assisting look better. You're not invisible. People will see you. But if you're making a big deal out of it, why would that person want to bring you back again? Yes, I say network, but once again, assistants network with assistants, and the person you're assisting will see you doing a great job, and they will look at that as networking, because now they're saying, okay, this person came on time, they're dressed appropriately.
That's a whole different story right
for
there.
dressed appropriately, and they're there to help. So listen, I know you look damn good in your poom poom shorts and 4-inch heels, girl. Those thighs are popping.
Yes.
But can you crawl under the table in that? And then the first thing you say is that person jealous? No, I can't ask you to. I don't feel comfortable asking you to do things because you're not dressed appropriately. And we don't have an HR department, so you're unlikely to be hired again.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
People, they don't even realize how they just shoot their own self in the foot. It was just like the little things.
That's what I said when I wrote Get Out of Your Own Way. The title changed to that because I was like, man, if I knew that, I would have done something totally different. I just really didn't know. Like, if you were to tell a lot of people to dress up and look nice, they're going to put on 4-inch heels and maybe a skirt, maybe not a poom poom skirt, but a skirt. But they don't know that they're going to be carrying 60 pounds of equipment up a hill.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know you need to always have flats, cover them gosh darn toes, because when your foot is hurt, you're out of luck. They don't know you might literally spend a fair amount of time bent over on the ground, fixing electricity, breaking down, unbreaking, putting stuff back together. So that low cut top that showed just a little cleavage, maybe now is showing everything but nipple. You get what I mean? There's just a lot of things people simply do not know what to do. They're pitching the wrong people for their jobs. So in Get Out of Your Own Way, I tell you who to pitch for the jobs that you want. And I want to make sure I'm really answering your question. So in the beginning of your career, you want to work towards building up your portfolio, and you'll learn along the way set etiquette, like how to work with a photographer, a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a wardrobe stylist, and a model. Remember, all 5 of them, that's generally your most minimal set. All 5 of you are speaking a different language. All 5 of you, all 5. Makeup speak makeup, hair speak hair, model speak model, photographer, and whoever else was the 5th person. They speak their own. So you have to learn to communicate in a way that you're talking to people about things that do not understand what you're saying. That you can tell them what you're going to do, an idea of how you're going to do it, the time it's going to take you to be done, and be done in that time.
Right.
That is vital. And people seem to have a difficult time understanding this, but I am not a mechanic. When I go to get my car worked on, if they start talking about defibrillators and high gears, and in 2017, this law was changed, so they have to do that. I don't know what you're talking. I need you to make boom, 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 stop going boom, 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 and make the car stop. I don't know.
Right.
So that mechanic has to think about how to talk to me. This is what I'm telling you to do. Or some people call it code switching. You know, how can you communicate? And if you don't make the powers that be feel as though you can communicate with them, that would be another reason to stop. So that's in terms of the powers that be, the people that hire you, the photographers, the person you're assisting. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, in terms of assisting, the look was a ponytail in the center of the hair. I was getting it to a ponytail. She just didn't like the way I was doing it. Yes, and that is reason enough for her to not bring you back. They may have told you specific steps to get it to that ponytail because how the next look was going to change.
Right.
Because if anything is wrong, they need the entire team to be on the same understanding of how to change it. If you're assisting, you don't get to just come in and say, this is how I want it.
Right.
Especially in the beginning of your career, when photographers, if they're the ones to come up with the look, or the wardrobe stylist, they expect you to give the exact hair that they picked out, or the exact makeup. There is none of this different. I thought this would be better, and I know you said an orange red lip, but I was thinking blue red.
No.
And I know you said you wanted a left part, but I was thinking a right part. No. If they said they want a wave to start here, that's what they meant. Not a wave that starts here at the chin, if they said they wanted at the cheek. So learning to listen, learning that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, because you need to listen way more than you need to talk. And 2 hands, now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Do the job with your 2 hands and you still got 1 mouth.
I love that. So when it comes to your clientele, you work with a lot of celebrities. I was on your website. Your website is just so inspiring, Monae. All of the things that you've done is really inspiring. But when it comes to celebrities, did you want to work with celebrities, or is that just something that kind of happened?
So I did want to work with celebrities. I can remember exactly where I was standing, where the lady that worked in my salon started telling me about it. And for some odd reason, I thought when I graduated college that it'd make me a celebrity hairstylist. Like, the two have nothing in common, but for some reason I thought so. So I fell flat on my face. I was broker than a joke. Like, you would have had to have more money to laugh than I had at that time. And I was like, okay, clearly I don't know enough. Let me go back and start doing more classes and educate myself. So I wanted to work with celebrities, I guess because in my mind, I saw it as that meant you were at the top of the top.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just be honest with yourself. It doesn't sound good, but I got a big ego. You know, Beyonce made that song for me about having a big ego. And to me, that feeds my ego to work with celebrities. You can be in Omaha and make $300,000 a year and decide if that makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, being in the DC area, I started to feel like a big fish. And I was like, there's no way in the hell I'm a big fish. I'm not able to live grand. I'm not able to do the things that to me you're a big fish. So I said, I don't even believe in my skill unless I can make it in a major market like New York. And to me, it appeared the way to make changes. Like, yes, I'm blessed to work with celebrities, but also I would like to work with brands, and they tend to take you more seriously if you have worked with celebrities. Also, I love being on the part of speaking out about diversity and inclusion. So I enjoy working with my clients. Like, I have super Latin clients, like Emily Tosta, who's like, no, I'm Latin. They need to see I'm Latin.
Mm-hmm.
I have Brenda Song, who's like Asian to the death.
I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome. Dominique Fishback, who just starred in Project Power with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
She always wants to have her 4C hair texture show.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that I'm able to make my mark by helping these young ladies diversify red carpets and also show that beauty is diverse. We don't all have to look the same way. Like, oh my gosh, my client from Queen Sugar, Rutina Wesley, she rocks the hell out of her locks. You get what I'm saying? Like, I love having clients that I can say they don't all look cookie cutter.
Right. I like that. I like that a lot. I had another question. Look, I'm over here looking at my thing.
Get them ready. Get them ready.
What?
I'm ready.
What client would you say gives you like the most creative freedom when it comes to their hair? Like, they's like, girl, do what you think would go with this outfit, or this is what my makeup and this is the look, but you do what you want with the hair.
And it's funny that you asked, because my nickname, I started calling myself the hair visionary, because I don't know anybody but me who gets more mood boards missing hair than myself. Like, here's the makeup, here's the clothes, here's the outside, here's the camera the photographer's going to use. All of that's wonderful. What do you have in mind for hair? I don't know. We figured you'd come up with something. Oh, I would probably say coming to mind Dominique Fishback, and I think we have created some of the best, most memorable 4C styles where I've really pushed myself to be like, oh wow, you can do that. Like I did one shoot with her and we did 7 looks in one day.
Mm-hmm.
4 hours, I believe it was. I didn't know I could do that until I did that.
Right.
You get so that I think she's the one that comes to mind. And I love her so much. She's a young, fresh talent who's kicking
Mm-hmm.
indoors. So probably leaning her way.
I like that. How do you think people should go about if they want to work with celebrities? How do you go about attracting those celebrity clients? Do you recommend being with like a management agency or just an agency in general, or just
Yeah,
sliding in their DMs?
so look, people always think I'm being evasive. Whatever step you feel like you need to take, there were 10 steps before it.
Mm,
That's how I got to get out of your own way. It was supposed to be 10 little tips, but everything had multiple steps underneath it. So you can't, so yes, you need an agency, but you can't just walk into an agency. What you want to say when you get there?
right. You gotta
Okay.
get that
So there,
portfolio ready and all of
yeah,
that.
there's a lot of steps. So you have to get your portfolio ready. You're right. But nobody tells you about all the shoots that you're going to do that aren't going to come out right that you can't put in your portfolio. What about learning how to create photo stories? What about learning what sizes your portfolio needs to be? Oh, hold on, let's go back. How do you put your team together?
Right.
How do you find how to pick out the makeup artist, the hairstyle, the photographer to work with?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back. How do you find out what products to put in the hair so that when you, in the hair or on the face, so that there's no flashback?
Mm,
See, it's so many steps ahead of it. So, and get out of your own way, I'm breaking that down with you and telling you the things you need to know. So, what if you can't afford to do a photo shoot with a photographer? Because even if you're testing, meaning no one's getting paid, it's still some financial investment in getting your stuff together or taking a day off from the salon. And get out of your own way. I teach you how to set up your own photo shoot so people know what they're looking for, but also how to train your eye so that as you develop, you start to say, okay, these are the things that are needed in a photo shoot. These are the things that I need to display, whether it's a headshot or a full body. This is the sizes they need to be shot in. This is how I bind the book together. Oh, this is what I need in my website. Oh, this is what I say when I reach out to an agent. You
yeah.
get what I mean? Whatever those steps are, and they're not overwhelming when you have an idea of what the steps are. When
Mm-hmm.
you don't know and you're throwing crap at the wall, a lot of times what's sticking is not what you want to stick. What's sticking is when you said something the wrong way or when you sent a photo of work that was poorly done. If you're a makeup artist and the hair ain't right, you can't send that picture.
Right.
If you're a hairstylist and that lip ain't right,
Right.
you
Can't.
can't send the photo. And most people don't realize if this is collaborative fully. So
Mm-hmm.
not only are you responsible for doing a good job, you are held responsible for the level of work with the other creatives you work
That is so true.
with.
That's why
So
testing
in
is so important too. So you can even get
test
the skill level up to
and
that point.
test and you're testing your damn self to see, okay, do I know what I'm doing? And like I learned when I was doing shoots in Northern Virginia, I was looking at my work like, okay, it's nice, and y'all are saying y'all want to work with me, but it don't look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't it look like that? Like, and I could not get real a real comprehension
Mm-hmm.
when I was down there. So I realized, okay, clearly I need to start coming up to New York. Okay, so the geography doesn't make you better per se. What am I looking for when hiring them or deciding to work with them? Girl, I used to jump on that mega bus at 2 a.m. and be up here for shoot or work at 8 a.m. And I
Right.
remember one time coming up here to do a shoot, and I had cried and died to work with this photographer. We broke into an abandoned building to do a shoot, and there was no heat in the middle of winter. No one tells you
I've done that
these
before.
stories. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know that when I was on that bus for
Uh,
4 hours coming up. But yeah,
right.
that's what the day was. So I really give you actionable tips and get out of your own way. And I've been a little challenged today to really think back to what it was like in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I'm not able to probably go into so much detail is I've really had revelations of, since I didn't know what I was doing the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of stuff that I did would be hard to even tell you guys, like, hey, you need to hire me to work with you because I would have did a better job on her hair. Really? Hold on, let me add you to the list. You know, the blacklist.
Blocked. The block
Blocked.
party.
Yeah, like you don't know. So you get up your nerve and you just say,
Mm-hmm.
or like I get a lot of DMs, you need to take me on your shoot next time. Why?
Like, first of all, I don't need to do nothing.
How about that? But then if I seriously respond with why, they're offended. But so your reason was you DM me to tell me you feel you could have done a better job? Because there was only one client and one hair. So if I took you, then what?
Right. Then what?
So what would have happened next, right? Just tell me what you had in mind.
Right.
Well, I ain't mean it like that. But this is exactly what you said, though.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a question from the Friends in Beauty community. I told them that I was going to be interviewing you today. And we have a question from Shaharley Blake. She's a makeup artist here in the DMV area. And she wants to know from you, do you feel like makeup artists should have some dry hairstyling skills? If so, what do you recommend?
Okay. So as I said, I started doing makeup because it fell in my lap and I had a little affinity for it. I do believe that it helped me to meet more people, and I liked doing makeup. What I'm hearing your question to say is, do we have to have it to make it? Only if you like doing hair. If you're in a smaller market, it will make you more valuable to do both. If you don't like it, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look like you don't like doing it, and then you're still going to have the situation of that hair doesn't look good, so you shouldn't be using it in your book. Right. Excuse me, because even if you're promoting yourself as a makeup artist, but the hair doesn't look good,
mm-hmm.
you will be looked down upon for, why is this in your book? She can't be trusted. We're judged on the worst images in our book.
Wow. Mm-hmm. We are judged on the worst images in our book.
Yep.
Okay. Because I'm thinking, because I know a lot of hairstylists or makeup artists and vice versa who want to do both. And me, I don't want to do hair. Like, I only do it if like I have to, and it's like really simple things like a ponytail or some cornrows, like something I can do. Because at one point I was trying to do like the whole CNN thing, and I just could not get that round brush. That I was like, you know what, this ain't for me.
Well, as a former CNN person, and I was one of the first people that they brought in that had to do both hair and makeup, it is a lot of stress, and you got to be on it. Mm-hmm. Only do what you want to do. You're going to deal with the consequences either way. One of the downsides that I saw from doing both is that people didn't take me seriously. It was kind of like we'll hire her so we don't have to deal with two other people. Like, instead of celebrating you, it was kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
And also it's hard to stand out but let's be clear, I was a great makeup artist. Agencies would tell me, oh, you shouldn't do both. And then they would say, because look at this image in your book. You couldn't do makeup like that. And I'm like, I did that makeup. But how much reinventing of the wheel can you do? If they've decided this is how they feel about you, everything can't be a fight. And a lot of times, carrying those 70-pound bags and to go there, and you're not really making twice the amount. A lot of times they're cutting some of it off. If you love doing both, do both.
Right.
I really liked doing both until one day I just got irritated and was like, no more makeup.
Right.
And it was because I couldn't find something, a small makeup thing. I like a black eyeliner, and you have so many brushes, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, I'm done.
I'm done with it. Throw in the brushes.
Yes, I'm over it.
And I just feel like makeup is so much messier than hair. And hairstylists always clean up so much faster than me. I'm always jealous. Like, I got all this stuff out.
Yeah, well, even things like that, I talk a lot about organization. You're talking to somebody who is not known for timeliness or organization. It cuts down on so much of your work. And maybe from working with celebrities, I've learned when they say, okay, you have from 10 to 12 and we leave at 12, that
Mhm.
means I need to be set up to go at 10. Sometimes I'm not allowed to. If it's in their hotel room, I can't come in and set up, before them.
Right.
I know we have to walk out at 12. So what does that mean? I need it to be done and cleaned up by 12.
Right. Right.
So it's learning how to understand what's required of you. So I had to learn really early how to pack my stuff because it's like you do all of this unpacking for them and they're looking at you like, ma'am,
Right.
we got to go. They are not amused.
Hmm.
You show up with all this stuff and they're like, you need all of that from me? Well, I didn't know what I was going to need for you, so I brought it all.
Right.
So
Everything to
you'll
be.
learn, yeah, you'll learn your skills. You'll start learning what hair tools can be used in multiple ways. But the same thing for makeup. Do you need
Mhm.
76 blues or would 3 blues have worked because generally nobody wears blue?
Right. Right. So this is a real hot topic that's going on right now in the
Hmm.
beauty industry, and that is inclusion. You
Hmm.
touched on it a little bit earlier, but I would really like to know your thoughts on inclusion in the beauty industry because I've heard like horror stories from models saying that they've gone on set and the
Hmm.
makeup artist. I interviewed a model maybe a couple of episodes back that she went to like maybe her first big gig when she signed with this agency, and the makeup artist was of a different race and told her like, "Oh, this is my first time doing a person of color." I'm like,
Hmm.
how does she even get on set in the first place if she's never touched the person of color and the client has a person of color there? So I would love to know like your thoughts on inclusion and what do you think that needs to be done to change things.
Sure, I have a lot of thoughts. I speak out quite often about the lack of diversity and inclusion, and I have to say, I absolutely did not realize the issue that we had before moving to New York. I think I was in a bit of a cave. And when I worked in the DC area, I think there were many things that happened that I wasn't sure why they happened. But in New York, they are so kind to tell you it is happening to you because you are Black. Be clear.
Wow.
So there's a lack of diverse beauty in front of the camera, which of course is going to lead to a lack of diversity behind the camera. I am often misquoted to say we need to hire more Black people to style Black people. Be clear, I have never said that.
Hmm.
You are a hairstylist or a makeup artist if you are able to do all hair textures and all shades. My opinion is you are an enthusiast if you can only do people that look like you. So we need to have more diverse talent on screen because diversity is beautiful. Like I said, I love, my Emily Tosa, who's Latin and proud, Brenda Song, Asian to the socks. I that really makes me very happy. Um, and I need to see artists who are able to style my Dominique Fishback, my Victory Boyd, who these are two who I bring up who only want to show their 4C hair. They don't want no other maybe change.
Hmm.
That's it. I think that we have a lack of diversity backstage, meaning artists who can do everyone. And specifically, there are not enough Black artists. There are many times that I am the only Black person in the entire crew, whether that crew is 5 or 55.
Hmm.
Um, that's happened many a time, and now we're at a point where they're bringing in just enough, and it's normally the Black hairstylist because they don't want to hear no complaints over Black hair. So a lot of times I'm that person. If you are a hairstylist, learn to do all hair textures. A makeup artist, learn to do all skin tones. If you don't hear nothing else, learn
Right.
that. I do believe that has opened up a lot of doors for me, being able to do all hair texture. Unfortunately, many times it's put me in the Black girl corner because when no one else wanted to be bothered with it, oh, Monet's here, she
Hmm.
can do it. And I don't care for that. I pride myself in being able to style all hair textures. You can ask me direct questions about it because I want to make sure that I'm answering and not going on a tangent.
That was cool. Like, have you ever had that experience, like with someone saying like, okay, we didn't hire her because she was Black for a
I
job?
have had the experience of, and this is an exclusive, I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but it still makes me so angry when I think of it. I got hired for a Hearst magazine, and could not believe it, over the moon. It was going to be a shoot for me to do hair and makeup. And it was like 7 p.m. on Thursday night for Friday morning. I should have got it then, but I didn't. So I'm checking in, and anyone who has been in the Hearst building, there's a long escalator that's like probably 5 floors. You're on the escalator that long. I happened to, when I was checking in, I said the person I was checking in for, and a guy next to me was like, oh, I'm such and such. Great. So talk about being nervous. I didn't expect to be standing next to the person hiring me right now. So we're going up the escalator. I was like, hey, such and such, I just wanted to let you know I'm so excited for this job, to work for this major publication. I so appreciate you giving me this chance. And he cut me off. He said, yeah, it's a Black model. Nobody wants to deal with her Black hair and makeup. So I figured I'd at least give you a try. You couldn't mess it up any more than anyone else.
Wow.
That was the most awkward escalator ride. But me still not knowing where to place this information. I don't know what to do with what you just said to me.
Right.
And this was some years back. This was before I was very aware of the lack of diversity and inclusion. I had never been told anything like that to my face, ever.
Mm-hmm.
So we do the whole shoot, and I'm thinking, well, because he told me throughout the shoot, he really liked what I did. So good, I won him over, right? And I said, hey, I wanted to give you my card if ever you guys have another shoot. I would love to be a part of. He cuts me off again and says, yeah, give me your card. I'll make sure to give it to a real hairstylist who works with, who does the real models and stuff, not this Black girl shit that you did today.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
I didn't know what to do with that. It almost brings tears to my eyes now, because think that he was stupid enough to say it out loud, so I was clear. But think about the other people who felt these ways and didn't say it before. So I was no longer able to be in my shell of maybe. He made it very clear. And I even said to him, but I was a lead hairstylist and makeup artist today. Like, I did all the work. He was like, yeah, but that Black girl stuff doesn't count. So this is why I'm very outspoken about the lack of diversity and inclusion. But I always try to give people actionable ways. We cannot make anybody do anything else. Mm-hmm. But if you learn and you pick up the skills to get yourself in the next door, you take away their crutches. You take away their reasons for saying why they didn't hire you. Like, people ask me about the union. I'm not in the union. However, when I ask them, well, which requirement are you having the hardest time with? They can't tell me because they've never been to the website to see the requirements. So get out of your own way. I'm going in detail talking about, yes, lack of diversity and inclusion exists. Lack of opportunity exists. But did you do your part to prepare?
Right.
So I want to make sure to really drive that home. There are a lot of things that happen to us. You can only control what you can do.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's like, don't give them a reason to say they're not going to hire you because you don't have the skills. Like, if you have the skills, then then that's on them to not hire you. That's an amazing story. I was even, I think it was the Black Beauty Roster. I hope I'm saying it right. I think it's the blackbeautyroster.com that recently came out, and it had a lot of people of color putting their names on the list for hair, makeup, and everything. Mm-hmm. But I saw something on their page recently with different quotes from different people who had experiences with lack of inclusion, I guess, sort of say. And one of the girls said that a makeup artist said to her, like, something to the effect of, like, oh, I had to use this whole thing of lipstick on you because your lips are too big, or like stuff, like crazy stuff.
Yeah, like, I didn't know that was a thing until, like, I have a YouTube channel and I started it in 2008. Mm-hmm. And people were like, oh my God, why do you poke your lips out? Why are your lips so big? I really had not heard of it. And you being from the DMV area, Imagine, over 10 years ago, I wasn't ignorant. These things were not put in my face.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, oh, okay, this is really what some ignorant people have been thinking. I truly did not know, but now that I'm aware, I'm doing what I can to make some changes.
Yeah. For people that are experiencing, I guess, the discrimination, because I feel like that's just plain discrimination, the way the guy talked to you that day and everything. How would you suggest that they recover from that? Because a lot of people aren't strong enough to recover from something like that. Like what happened to you, they would just take that and take it to heart, and then they would probably quit doing hair, quit doing makeup because they feel
Hmm.
like there's no place for them. What would you say to those people for them to like bounce back from that?
I would say the thing no one wants to hear, which is since you can't control anybody else, and the hard truth is we're working towards change, but so what if I went to his HR? He worked there, I didn't. I was a freelancer. All
Mm-hmm.
that would have done was be used against me. The thing that I have to say that no one wants to hear is you got to know what you offer within yourself so that their opinion of you doesn't bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally all it is. And maybe you work with that person again, more than likely you won't. But how about this? Let's focus on your skills being so high and you being so in demand that you decide who you work for. So when they come calling for you again, I am unavailable.
Right. I love that part.
Yeah.
I love it. So can you tell us more about the Monae life and why you're so passionate about education? I love talking about education because you can never stop learning for real. But what do you offer with the Monae life?
Sure. So the Monae Life Academy is an online virtual education center, and it goes to answer questions about working with different hair textures and working on set. I'm passionate about education because that's what you can control. You can control standing out by being the person that knows best, by being the person that can do the best job. That's how many opportunities are going to come to you from senior artists who either are unavailable or unable to do the task.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm passionate about education. You're talking to someone who takes classes, I mean, no less than twice a month. And over my career, there's so much to learn
Yeah.
out there. Um, and also, a lot of people speak freely about what they don't know. So I'm going to help them to learn the things that they don't know. Uh, you know, a lot of people listening may be Black, and there's a really old school saying, if you want to hide something from a Black person, put it in a book. And when I heard that as a little girl, it bothered me so much that I vowed to always be a reader. They had some good stuff in those books.
Okay.
Yeah, and now, we have so much virtual learning. So it comes down to what do you want to do with yourself? Educators are coming and pulling up their desk and sitting in the middle of your living room on your phone when you get the time they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to be one of those people that people in the beauty industry say, oh, wow, she actually got back to me. She told me something I could learn from. She helped me make these moves. She helped me take it from being the only Black person, on this crew to opening the door for other very qualified individuals. Please note, I have never said, bring all the Black people you can in. What I said was
Qualified.
opening the door for other qualified professionals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And you told us so much about your book already. And I think it's really cool that you wrote a book. What was the process like for you getting all that information out and done and published and all of that?
That's a good question. So I had every excuse in the world for not having time to write this book that people have been asking me a lot of questions about how I got to where I am. And then the whole world came to a stop and I ran out of excuses. So I said, okay, fine. I'll give y'all like 10 things I wish I would have known, like a 5-page. And then I started expanding on those 10 things. And then those 10 things turned into 25, which really could have been 50, but I didn't want to like overwhelm people. And I said, okay, this is not really like a quick download. Now it's like 100 pages and it's a lot of information. It's actually a book. And I kept lying and saying I was out of time. And, no, now I have the time. I'm not doing anything. And I stumbled upon the name Get Out of Your Own Way because I realized by me not knowing what to do, I was doing a lot of the wrong things and leaving poor taste in people's mouth. And I keep coming back to, if you don't know what to do, you're more than likely going to do the wrong thing or be paralyzed and do nothing and not get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
So the process was me doing a lot of staying up very late at night, doing a lot of writing, and I enlisted my good friend, Stefanetta Isis Harmon, to help me edit the book. And she really pushed me to make sure that I wrote a book that made sense to people, that can encourage people. And I want you to hear me say, through education and organization, you can learn set etiquette, marketing, and the business skills that you need to work with high-end and celebrity clients. It's out there. And I want to push my people who love leaving messages on the DMs about what they would have done differently. I want to push them to see, okay, you say you could do better. Let's see.
I love that. It definitely sounds like a book that people should get their hands on like ASAP, even down to the photo shoot thing. Because sometimes I think when we move, I've only been doing makeup for almost 8 years, but like sometimes you kind of forget those things that you needed or where you started from. Because I've had people ask me about photo shoots. Like, I'm having a photo shoot outside. Like, what should I do? Like, how do I transition from looks? And it's the little things. So it sounds like it's really good. I got to get my hands on it too, even though I don't do hair, but
oh no, all the skills you'll be able to use as well. I told an earlier interview, one of the biggest issues I had at first with test shooting was that photographers, because they're starting out, they didn't have studios. So it's cool, excited, let's do this shoot. I did not realize what that meant until being put in that situation. The makeup artist can work outside.
Right.
The photographer can work outside. The model's not excited, but we can work it. I don't have no electricity, but you're still expected to do hair.
Exactly.
So learning how to not depend on anything. God gave you everything you need within you to create, to do whatever it is that you want to do. But imagine getting to a photo shoot with the freshest new flat irons and curling irons and crimping irons, and you can't plug it in. And this happened to me so many times. No one thought to tell me that. So I had to learn, like, bring my car and plug something into the car, like a converter or something. But these are things no one's thinking because they don't speak your language. The photographer has $10,000 worth of his own equipment to bring. He is not thinking about, can you plug in a curling iron? But because he's working with light, he will think about, does the makeup artist have enough light to do her job? They just don't think about, different parts of other people's jobs.
Definitely. I love that. Well, what's next for you? You have anything coming up for any big plans?
So right now, it's really all about getting the word out about Get Out of Your Own Way and helping people find education through my online platform, the Monae Life Academy. And if you'd like any helpful tips or to know when I'm doing my education, I do a lot of free education. You can text the word hair, like the hair on your head, HAIR, to 33777. That's 33777. I'm just all about talking and teaching and exploring new things, starting to work with brands, getting this message out there. And my message is that we have skills. Just hire us. All we need is access.
Nice. Well, before you go, because this was a wonderful conversation, I still have other questions I want to ask, but I'll ask you.
Well, I got a few more minutes if you want to get them all out. It's totally up to you.
One last question before we end. You have done and you do a lot of media. I've seen you on talk shows and interviews. And are you agency represented, PR, or do you go about getting those opportunities yourself?
I believe I have gotten every single one myself. I have hired a PR company twice. They never got me any.
Yeah. And
I hate to give them a bad name. It could be because, my budget ain't long. Those PR firms can be thousands of dollars a month. And, I ain't got it.
Right.
So yeah, I do a lot of stalking publications and learning how to find them. But this is still going to go back to knowing what to say in a pitch. This is still going to go back to, do you have good images of your work? Still going to go back to, does your portfolio say that you are diverse and respected?
Right.
So that's the really hard part. I can introduce you to 10 people in the media right now. What are you going to say?
Right. I wouldn't know where to start. I'm a big
And
researcher, so I will research to a T before I have to do something like that. But
and I'm happy you brought that up, because a lot of people say, okay, well, if I don't know, I'll learn after they ask me what they want. Many times when I get questions, they say it's 9 a.m. Can you have this back by 11? Sure, send me the one question you said you were going to send me. And they send me 6 questions with 5 parts each.
right.
And I'm like, so clearly I work at the magazine now, since I'm doing your whole job.
Right.
But, it's great to be featured in the media. And you asked me earlier about diversity and inclusion. What I realized was that when I was looking for someone to talk to and looking for the help, there wasn't anyone that looked like me. I didn't wake up and say, oh, I want to be in front of the media. What I woke up and said, okay, I don't see what I need. Let me be that person. So that's how I started doing a lot of media. That's how I started working with celebrities. I find that people care more about what you say if there's a celebrity attached.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've
all of
noticed
this,
that.
yeah. So I wouldn't have been able to be in Oprah magazine talking about the lack of diversity and inclusion if I didn't have a diverse celebrity, noticeable, recognizable clientele to put up there. I would not even be able to be in InStyle talking about deep conditioning treatments if my clients didn't have nice hair. But how did I get those clients? Testing, portfolios, um, etiquette, networking, things of this nature. So no one's going to come over and hand you a career. If people even ask me, well, you want to give me your contact? Sure. Here. Now what?
Right.
What you going to do with it?
I guess for those people, because a lot of times people don't want to work with celebrities, or maybe they do want to work with celebrities and they just haven't reached that level yet, but they're really good artists. And I guess they sometimes get discouraged and feel like they can't do media. They can't do, certain things if they don't have that celebrity, name attached to them.
Well, they will be taken more seriously, but we have something that's similar to celebrity, which is, how popular are you on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you something else folks don't want to hear? How good are your images on portfolio, your images on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Is it clean backgrounds? Is it this? Is it that? All the same things you need for a regular portfolio.
Right.
So people think that they are working less on Instagram. I'm like, I think those people are working more. They're expected to put up more images. They're expected to always be filming and things of this nature. So we will always find a way to talk ourselves out of a dream. Stop.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage is real, and I pray on that nightly. I pray on not self-sabotaging, being disciplined and being discerning. I didn't wake up one day with any achievements, and I damn sure get told no more than 90% of the time.
Right. Oh my gosh. This was so good. I'm so happy that I reached out to you and got you here, because this has been an amazing episode and I'm so grateful. But before you go, I always ask some Friends in Beauty rapid fire questions with every guest. So yes, whatever comes to your mind first, just, let it out and you'll do great. You'll be fine. So the first one is, what are the top 3 keys to your success so far?
The top 3, I would say listening. I would say being diverse. And I want to say something other than communication, because listening is under communication. I know it's supposed to be rapid. My brain's not moving rapidly. I'm not determination, not giving up.
Nice. Love that. How do you measure your success?
I don't. I guess when I didn't have to, because for me, being in a salon was not where I wanted to be. There's nothing wrong with being, it just wasn't for me. I guess when I was able to not be in a salon and pay my own bills, to me, that was being successful.
Awesome. What's the best advice you ever received?
Oh, so much. So much. Two ears, one mouth. Um, Another one that I've been repeating to people often is have someone speaking to me. Have you noticed that all of your stories that end in you being in some type of trouble or conflict started with, all I said was, that hurt. That hurt. But yeah.
That's so funny. Next one, what advice would you give to someone who's just ready to give up on their dreams of being in the beauty industry?
Oh, it depends on the day you catch me. One day I might say, give it up and sell your stuff. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. But other days I might ask, why? What's your reason? Is there something you can work towards? And both of them are interchangeable because everything's not for everybody. Maybe they feel like giving up on the beauty industry because they really, truly should be doing something different. In other days, is it just that you allow somebody to hurt you so bad that you're willing to give up your dream? So I think it would depend on the context of why they want to give it up. Because some people probably need to sell their stuff and try something different because this just ain't working for them.
True.
And other people, like myself in the beginning, need to develop a thicker skin.
Definitely. What's a resource that has helped you in your business that you can share with the Friends in Beauty community?
When you asked, it jumped out of my head. I think your personal has to be right before your business. So I'm going to tell you a personal book because I'm sure y'all always do business. Things My Mother Taught Me by Judge Lynn Toller was an amazing book. I listen to business podcasts all the time. I watch a lot of self-help movies and books and documentaries. I find ways to relate a lot of different things. And I'm going to tell you something else that I don't feel a lot of people probably say. Learn to play chess. Literally learn to play chess if you don't know how. Chess was an amazing thing for me to learn. I had no idea I would like it so much, and it really helped me to learn to think differently. Please know, if you're a makeup artist, as far as the layperson is concerned, you and 25 other people can do makeup at the same level. Hair is the same. So you have to learn different things that set you apart. Play chess, learn to think about things differently. You learn to play chess and you'll learn you can play this game real simple or you can play it all out in a lot of different ways.
I love that. That's a different one. I like that a lot.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know y'all been naming books and stuff. I'm going to give you personal and chess. Yeah.
I love that. I'm about to go learn play chess now.
Yes, and I will play online with you. I love playing chess.
Nice. So the last one, I want you to fill in the blank. I want you to say, my name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is blank. Whatever you think it is.
Okay. I'm Monae Everett, and the key to longevity and success, the keys are determination and communication.
Awesome. I love it. Let everybody know where they can find you and where they can purchase your book and get coaching and all of that. And I'll leave it down below in the show notes.
Absolutely. So please find me at Monae Artistry, both on Instagram and YouTube, about 200 videos on there. So that was Monae Artistry. And you can get my book, Get Out of Your Own Way, at themonalife.com, where you will also find online courses that you can take instantly. So that is Get Out of Your Own Way, available at themonalife.com, where you can get virtual education as well as Get Out of Your Own Way.
Awesome. This has been an amazing interview, Monae. Thank you so much for doing this. I know that it's going to be so much value packed into this episode that people are going to love this, and they're going to be reaching out to you, telling you how much you impacted their life and everything. But thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. Please jump in my DMs. I answer. Tell me that you heard me on Friends in Beauty. I need to know where folks are listening and the crew is working so hard on it.
Yes.
We need to hear.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this episode with at least one friend in beauty, and subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts so that other friends in beauty can find this show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.